Hello, welcome to a lovely little video chat we've got about one of the most anticipated games of the year, as if there weren't a million of them already. We're going to talk about Super Mario Odyssey, and joining me is the chap who's lucky enough to review, Mr. Adam Cook. How are you doing, mate?
10 out of 10.
Oh yes, there we go. Thanks for joining me. You can read the review on the yeah. What's it like, mate? Because you know, I can't wait to play it myself.
It's wonderful. It's just wonderful. Like it's a little bit slow to start to the point where you start to think, well, what's this going to do that makes it a 10 out of 10? What's this going to do? You kind of expect it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, like Mario 3D World, I think I gave a 10. I think that was a just magnificent game. It's important to note that God is a Gigi 10 out of 10 is not perfection. It's highest possible recommendation.
Yeah, of course.
That said, I do use the words platforming perfection in the review, so it's strange because I think over the years I probably prefer the 2D Marios, but then they did the new Super Mario Bros. And I kind of felt like they were all right. They were good games, but like it sort of became the better ones were the 3D ones, the Galaxies, the 3D Worlds. Yes. This is, I guess, a kind of combination of Super Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine. And I say that because there are elements of Mario Sunshine in this game strongly. Like there are bonus levels that. Like there's one, so in Mario Sunshine you could find a sort of secret level that got you a shine, and often like it would remove your flood. You couldn't use flood, and like one of these, there is a bonus level where you have to throw your hat on a flag and it stays on the flag, so you then are just doing a platforming level. So do you need like the comparison between Flood and Cappy? Do you know what I mean? That's kind of thing, but this also has the DNA of Zelda in it, like in a way. This year's Zelda, like if you can see something, you can go there. Mostly, there's scenery in the distance of a Mario game you can't get to, but like you know, in New Donk City, you might look and there's like a city texture that wraps around you, so to speak, but you can't go there. It is each kingdom is enclosed, like there are boundaries. Although they're well hidden, and like often boundaries in such, like in New Donk City is another example where you have to. There are elements that take you away from that. You know, it's just it's not like if you want to just go and see the credits, it's not that long. Like I think maybe 5-6 hours, but I say that's not long. It's quite long for a Mario game, but that is like I forget the figure, but it's probably under 200 moons to do that. Each kingdom has a couple of missions that are kind of story missions. Is a bit much. That's not quite what they are. Like do this and this will happen, and then do this and you'll beat the boss. And once you've done that, like the rest of it is like if you need to get 15 moons to progress, you kind of, and this is where the Zelda part comes in. Like you kind of just experiment. Some are obvious, like there's some that just sat on top of a brick and you're like, oh, I just have to get to that and that's a moon. Some will surprise you, like there's one in the desert, I forget the name of it, I think it might just be Desert Kingdom, which it's just a lion's tail. You throw your hat, hold the button down and your hat stays on it, spins around, and there's a secret shine in it. Moon, thinking of Sunshine again. But there's a lot of that, there's a lot of experimentation, there's a lot of use of what the Switch has. There's like the HD Rumble. So for example, I use this in the review. There's like a Doge, you know, like the dogs. You know that. You know, I mean, is that even how you say it? Is it Doge? I mean, my kids say Doge, so I'm guessing it is Doge.
Oh, we'll go with that.
He was wearing a hat, and I saw him in a couple of levels, and I thought, well, you know, my boys walked in, and oh look, there's Doge. There's Doges in the game, and we were all a bit like, well, that's pretty weird, but you know, whatever. This is a very weird Mario game. And then I was stood there. I just left it idling, and I saw the Doge. Which again, I say this in the review, but I never thought I'd say that in a review. But there we are. At this point, all bets are off. And it sort of wanders off slowly, and I thought, where's it going? And I followed it, and I followed it a bit more, and it kept following it into the desert, and it stops and just starts digging, and then the floor starts glowing and vibrating. So I did a ground pound, and lo and behold, there's a moon. Like stuff like that. It rewards experimentation, exploration, and that's why I say it sort of borrows some of the. It's certainly a through line of the DNA of Zelda, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Cappy is obviously the new big feature. Do you get, when you're saying about experimentation, do you get to use him a lot? Do you get to, is there a lot of different things you can throw him at that, you might on the off chance just think, oh, maybe
100%.
I can't, and then,
100%.
That's what I was kind of hoping for from what I saw in the preview. There's a lot to throw him at, but I just wondered how much there would be in the duration of the game.
Oh, I mean, Cappy is a constant. Like, you are non-stop using Cappy to capture things, to attack. It's basically your attack. That is your attack. You don't. Yeah. You can jump on enemies like you would in a Mario game, but generally speaking, you don't. The idea is you throw Cappy, fling it sort of the motion controls to the side, and it will hit the second attack.
Yeah.
But it's meticulous in its detailing. Like, there are idle animations for Mario that depend on where you are. Like in the desert land again, if you're in the shop, he goes to sleep on the floor. If you're outside in the heat, he starts wiping his brow like I'm hot. And
wow, that's cool.
Well, it goes even further. Like that, what I would say to people, and this is I guess like a tip, if you will, there is nothing accidental in this game. Like I'd finished my single player sort of. I've seen the credits, and after the credits, you can carry on as you would expect, given it's a game. It's a collectathon of moons, and my son was playing through his own story, and I looked at him. Where are you? What's going on? And he showed me, and I'd done this kingdom, and I thought I'd rinsed it. Actually, I knew there was a few moons left, but he found like 4 that I hadn't even been to that area. Like I hadn't even. I don't know how he found them, and I didn't. Yeah. And it was in one of these areas I realised that the meticulous nature, that nothing's accidental. Like there are some of the walls will be marked differently. There will be a platform revealed by a certain a creature you can capture. I think they've shown him like he's like a weird like desert obelisk that walks around, and you can put the shades on and off, and it reveals hidden platforms. When you do that, there reveals one hidden platform, and it's just on its own, and you think, well, what? That's weird. That's of no consequence. But you realise it is of consequence, and I won't explain or spoil why. But there is nothing out of place in this game. It is so incredibly well designed, and obviously looks and sounds amazing. The works.
Yeah, man. So, I know we can't really go into much detail here because it'd ruin it. But there is a lot of kind of like surprises, isn't there, for Mario fans?
Oh Christ! Yeah, like
chock full.
Oh, it uses history well. Like they've shown the 2D stuff, where you can go in a pipe, and like that 2D traversal within the pipe gets you somewhere else. What they haven't shown is some of the stuff, or some of the ways they use the 2D Mario games, the 8-bit. Like, I'm not going to say them here, and I would urge people just to play this damn game, because there is some stuff where you're like, surely not, and then nope, they did it. It's. I don't want to say for spoilers, but there's a moment in Uncharted 4 where you're like, no. Oh my god, it is. And there's a lot of that kind of stuff where they just use their history so well. Like this Mario has a vast history now. I really worry that a lot of this game will be spoiled, and that sounds stupid because like it's a Mario game, but there are so many beautiful little nods and winks and outright things that you would hope, that you see them and you like I say, you go nah, and then it sounds almost rambling in its intent, but I'm so desperately don't want to spoil things. But there is so much to discover, and even when you finish the game, like the time of recording, and we're well ahead of the review embargo, but the time of recording, I think I'm well over 300, maybe 400 moons. But I think there might be 900 odd. Like, it's insane. Like, there's a lot of game here and a lot to discover, and it's one of those that, like Zelda seems to be having a resurgence where people are sharing videos and stuff, going like, look what I found even now. I think this might be a bit like that. Chris, it is wonderful. It's a pointless review. It is maybe even a pointless video, because I think if you own a Switch, you're buying Mario Odyssey. But if you have been holding fire in the hope that the Mario game will be brilliant, it's just absolutely magical.
Well, there's not much more to say. I mean, go and read Adam's review, but the game is out very soon. It's very exciting. Thanks for joining me, Adam.
No probs, mate.
No, and yeah, you can go and read the review on godsageek.com, and everything else God is a Geek, everything else games. Just check us out. We're awesome. Thanks very much, guys, for listening. Take care. Bye bye.